Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Hey guys, this is Melissa. I just want to say that we recorded this episode before the Safer at Home Act was put in place. So you will hear Megan and I referencing that we are together. We're together for this episode and the next episode because we recorded them in the same day. But after that, we will not be physically together and practicing physical distancing, and you should too. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. If you're watching, we are in my house.
We are.
We are comfy. We are cozy. Oh, you brought slippers?
I did.
I love that for you.
So cozy.
So for the foreseeable future, if you're watching, you'll be seeing inside my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome inside.
If we go on lockdown, we'll be Skyping it.
Yes.
So we'll still be going.
Mm-hmm. We're giving you entertainment through all of this. So at least for me, I've been enjoying podcasts. Not that, I won't lie, not that much of my life has changed, minus like not being able to go to a workout class.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be continuing doing content for you guys. So I feel like that's the only time we need to address it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't want to say like buzzkill, but we're going to be a nice, happy distraction.
Yeah, the episode that we recorded that you guys saw last week was meant for April, but we had to bump it up because we don't want to put our guests at risk or anything. Yeah.
So, without further ado, guys, this is Don't Blame Me, an advice podcast. If you want to call in for an upcoming episode, that was English, leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And what else? What's like a good, fun, uplifting like bit we can get into before we start?
I like math. I rediscovered it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I rediscovered that I really love algebra.
Oh my God, did you post it on your stories?
Yeah.
What?
Didn't you see it?
I did, but like I for some reason thought it was like you were tutoring your like little sis or something.
No, she's not that old. She's only 10. She has not in algebra yet.
I can't relate.
Yeah, I figured. I was wondering why you didn't say anything.
I truly thought that there was no way it could have actually been for fun.
I saw a BuzzFeed quiz that was like, "Can you pass this math thing?" I got 100%.
That's probably why I didn't, because I won't question anyone in their BuzzFeed quiz taking, because I've taken all of them.
But not that one.
No, I probably have, but I probably got 2 questions and then was like, I feel really bad about myself. I need to stop. I did a video like 2 years ago or something like that where I took like the practice SAT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw that.
I did not do, granted, I didn't do well the first, like when I took it, like when I was supposed to take it, I did like fine, like mediocre. I also retook it 3 times. I got the exact same score every time.
Nice.
And I did the tutoring where if you don't go up like at least 200 points, you get your money back. I got my money back. Then I did it again. That I didn't go up any points. I got my money back again. And then finally it was like, yeah, she's physically
Your parents didn't pay
incapable.
for you?
Huh?
Your parents didn't pay for you?
Pay for me to, oh no. First of all, did not give a shit. And B, could not have paid for that. Good God. But yeah, tests were never my thing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because I was not medicated at that point either, which I wasn't good at any of it.
A lot of schools in the South don't require SAT. It's more ACT. And but I took the ACT and the SAT just, to do it.
Just to flex on it. Well, because ACT is more math and science, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which
It's a different way of answering the questions. I forgot what's different, but the way
there's
that
no
they
written
do the
component,
test,
right?
There's no written component.
And that's the only part that I was really good at. Like I did great on the reading and writing, high above average. It was just the math that brought me all the way down. Like I could not. I think I kept getting. I don't remember what the score was, but like it wasn't good. And it stayed the fucking same.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was not my prime, but also I was not surprised. And also during the AP test, the only time I took the AP test I was only in one AP, was English. My contact ripped in my eye in the first 5 minutes. And then I had to take it out, but then my depth perception was off. So then I took the other one out. So then I was like blind taking the test. And so then I only did a third of the test and I still passed my AP test. And I was like, I got the same score as my friends who finished the full thing. And then I was like, fuck, I wish I could have.
But you
finished.
are like really good
I can
at
do
writing.
like math, like not math. I can do like the writing and the reading stuff. I can bullshit my way through that.
I don't think it's bullshit though. You have the way that you write, like I admire it.
Stop.
I'm not
That's
joking.
so nice.
Like the way that you write, it's very like it's personal, but it's very like it's personal, but like grammatically like telling the story in like a good way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't write and not sound like myself. I can never be a ghostwriter for anybody else, which is I wanted someone to like help me write my book. And then they were like, no, you sound very weird, but like a good thing. But like there's no one, it's going to be very obvious when it's like, and steps right in. But thank you.
Even in your little YouTube things, like when you've in the emails for people, I was like,
I'm also like, I read it
bitch.
aloud every time before I, like when I write something down and then I read it aloud. And I think it's also because I'm like very theatrical and dramatic that I like my writing. I like if you were being asked to do it as a slam poem, I want it to like land.
Yeah, that's great.
Which was
great storytelling. I think that's what I was looking for.
Thank you. This is great. Guys, wow, amazing compliments. Well, should we get into the calls?
Sure.
I'll compliment you on your math skills, but I don't know how to. Like, I'm just sure you're great.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm having some trouble with one of my best friends from college. I am 22, and there's a girl I've been friends with for the past 4 years. She had kind of a bad relationship that she got out of right when she met me, and kind of, credits me for helping her get out of the relationship. And since I've known her, she's struggled a bit with dating, with, maybe guys not liking her back or like kind of ghosting her, that sort of thing. And recently she started talking to someone who my boyfriend is friends with. And he's a really nice guy. I really like him. And things were going well for a while. And then all of a sudden she kind of just told me, yeah, no, we're not talking anymore. He's not good for me. And during this time that they were talking, I had a class with this guy and had tried to, talk with him because he was talking to my best friend, and I just wanted to, get to know him as well. And so I had asked her, why it didn't work out, and she just said, oh, like, I think he's a little selfish. He's just not really good for me. Like, I want to focus on me right now, sort of thing. And then kind of weeks later, the boy had reached out to my boyfriend asking him to hang out, and my boyfriend invited him out to a bar we were all going to. And the boy who my friend used to talk to had texted her saying, hey, me and myself were going to this bar and asking if she wanted to come. So he included my name and his name and asked if she wanted to come to this bar with us. And she got very upset with me for hanging out with him. And I had explained to her that, he's friends with my boyfriend and I would never reach out to him on my own. But because he's friends with my boyfriend, I was uncomfortable, being rude to him or ignoring him or saying no to come out. So basically, I've apologized numerous times, but it's been about 3 weeks now and she still hasn't talked to me. And I don't know if I should reach out, if I should just give her time to figure it out on her own time. But I feel like I didn't really do anything wrong here. I apologized immediately after and said, you're my main priority. I never want to hurt you, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just kind of struggling because I don't know if I need to apologize. I don't know if I need to, give her more space, but would love any advice. Thank you.
I don't know if we're going to have, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't understand why the friend cares so much.
Okay, so we are going to be on different
teams. I figured we were
Me
going to
too.
be in this one. I don't see, like, they were just talking. They weren't even, like, really together. You had a class with him. You became friendly with him. He's friends with your boyfriend. I don't understand why this is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a problem, but I could see, like, if I was your friend and I was petty, like, my logic would be, and I think a good rule of thumb in general is just if you get something like that happens, just get ahead of it. Like, don't be the guy who then can use you. Cause, like, to be fair, like, he is kind of like puppet mastering to make her mad at you. Like, there's no other like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think like using that is just a little, and especially because he said in the text that it was like, hey, let's call her like Sarah. Like, me and Sarah are going to a bar if you want to come, as opposed to saying, hey, me and like Dylan, Sarah's boyfriend, are going to a bar. Sarah might come. Do you want to come? Like, I just think like he intentionally like kind of stirred the pot a bit. And if I were in your situation as like the friend, I would have been, as soon as your boyfriend got that text and told you, I would have just texted your friend saying like, heads up, just got a text from whatever his name is, Jackson. I'm picking really like specific names that I'm not going to remember.
Sarah and Jackson, I got it.
Sarah Jackson, and the boyfriend is Dylan. So it's like, hey, Dylan just got a text from Jackson asking if we wanted to, inviting us to go out to like the bar with him. I know you guys like stopped talking and like I didn't get a ton of details why, but is it like, I just want to give you, and you don't even have to ask permission. You can say like just giving you a heads up, like letting you know, or if you feel like as so inclined to be like, hey, would you feel cool if I went? Mm-hmm. I think that's really just it. And if like you had done that and she was like still upset with you, I think then I would infer that she's probably not telling you everything that happened with like the reason why that they ended. But I think that's the only thing that you can, obviously you can't do it now, but in general, the only thing I think you can do to like prevent this kind of stuff is I always would prefer for it to come from me.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that it would and I think the whole thing is that like, it is like innocent, but I think he's making it sound like it's not necessarily. It's like, oh, I'm hanging out with your friends.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is more to the story just because of the way they're both acting.
Totally.
So something happened that it's so bad that even though they were just talking and she thinks that he's selfish, that it was more than just like, hey, we're not talking anymore.
Yeah. And I would also say a good rule of thumb is don't pursue a friendship with someone that your friend is like just talking to immediately.
Yeah. I get like you trying to, if you're going to do that, it needs to be coming from a point of view like, I'm getting to know this guy better to see if he's good enough for my friend. Yeah. And not in like, I'm going to be his friend.
Totally. Yeah. I just think that it just makes it messy. Mm-hmm. And like, I think once you're like, I would rather if I have a friend who introduced me to someone that they're like talking to, a lot of the time it's like, hey, what are your thoughts? Like, do you like them? And then if it's a friend who most of like long distance friend who it's like, hey, I started dating someone. I can't wait for you to meet them and get to know them as like a person, as opposed to like pursuing your own individual friendship, like with, cause like it's just a different like pace. And I think it can just end up weird and sticky. And I've done that when I've become friends with like a couple as they like just started dating. And then I've only ever been able to stay friends with one half of them. Like it's just not. So I would do that. I think I would also, if she's still really upset with you, I think I would, I don't know. I'm someone, and this is only we can really give from like our own opinions and what we would want here specifically, especially when it comes to like, should I keep apologizing or give her space? I don't know her.
Or like really how close a friend you are either.
Yeah.
Like,
she said it was her best friend though.
I know, but like if that, like that's your best friend, but you don't know like the full story of what happened.
And it does. Maybe it's like a group of best friends and you guys aren't as close. But yeah, and also if it was like a guy my friend used to talk to and immediately he texted my boyfriend and like asked to hang out, I would immediately text my friend and be like, guess what? Like, but I would also say that for me personally, I think a good rule of thumb is people who want space will ask for space. But people who want attention and people who want apologies aren't going to really ask for it as much. And so I think until someone says, hey, I really would like some space, I wouldn't assume that because like it's easier to ask for space than it is to ask for like validation and support. And that's what I always, Monts' instinct when I'm upset is to give me space. And I'm like, unless I fucking ask for space, and I will say, you don't have to read into it. I will say, give me space. I will want space. He's like, yeah, but you never say that. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want space. I just want you to keep apologizing for like nonstop and then just make me laugh. Like that's what I don't want.
See, I'm the
space.
opposite. I'm like, give me space and
but
don't
you ask for it.
But I don't say it though. But I'm just like, I hate people apologizing. I'm just like, don't apologize. Just do better.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's someone I don't want to ghost, then I would like an apology. I don't know. Maybe it's different with dating. No, I usually either want to never talk to you again or I would like an apology.
Like it's like apologize one time and then just do better after that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't
like keeping apologizing.
No, that's true. Maybe I just like, but that's also on a case. Like that's like it's not the regular. But if I'm like pissed and he's like, I'm sorry, like, do you want some space? And I'm like, no, I would like you to put on Veep.
See, that's two things though. It's I'm sorry. Do you want some space? It's not just like I'm sorry, and then a separate thing. Do you want some space? You know what I mean?
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say for her, I would just continue to like text her and reach out and like don't. If she asks for space, then like give it. Or even if in a text, say, like if you've already texted a bunch of times and she hasn't responded or you've tried to call, then I would say, okay, I think that you want some space. I don't want to like bombard you. I'll text you in like a week or something and then give her space and then reach back out again. But I would also I would just like look at your apologies again and see exactly what it is that you're apologizing for. Cause I think the best apologies are, wow, I really fucked up. You're right. And that, like seeing it from your perspective, I could see how hurtful that is. And I'm really sorry that I did that. I'm sorry if I made you feel. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you did. And like, it feels really sucky. And even if you can't put yourself in her position and you're like, well, I wouldn't care. She cares. And like, if it's your friend, especially, like you usually know how they're going to react and you know how their mind works with that kind of stuff. So I would just really apologize for all of that stuff. And then I think the best apologies are, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I acknowledge your feelings and I feel really bad because of it. And then this is how I should have done it differently and how I will do it differently in the future. Because I think that's a promising apology. It's not just, I'm sorry I did that. And it's like, well, it's like, I'm really sorry I did that. I should have texted you first as soon as he reached out to my boyfriend without any like qualifications. Like, but they are friends, like just point blank, I should have done this. And that's also, again, if you really want to salvage the friendship, because I think I would also get down to the bottom of why they broke up, because I think there's definitely a little bit more to it there. And also it's just weird because you didn't say that like she got set up with your boyfriend's friend either. Do you know what I mean? Like every other relationship, it felt like them talking started it and then he got in a circle. And I would be not fucking cool with that if I was her. But I'm also petty. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's just like it was just them talking. It can't be at all.
No.
Like something went down.
And also selfish is such a specific word to describe somebody that you've only been talking to for a little bit of time. Like that, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't know them yet.
Exactly. And so like it has to be from something.
You wouldn't be expecting that much from somebody that you're just talking to.
100%. So like what is it in... I mean, my mind goes to all like the shitty, like really bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you can't sleep with anyone else, but I'm going to fuck everybody. It's like, oh. Or that he's like, yeah, I like don't care about, like female orgasms are a myth. But you must suck my dick 24 hours a day.
Selfish.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Me neither. I would die. Well, best of luck. I hope
in these times.
That's what we need in these times, are female orgasms. The world would be a much better place if every woman was coming.
Yeah.
If you gave us political power and orgasms, unstoppable. Unfucking
be a different place.
It would. It would. Well, I hope you guys work it out. If you want to call in with an update, or if you're a part of our Facebook group and you want to talk there, if there's any more stuff that you can give us, and yeah, wishing the best for you guys. On to the next.
So I just got out of my first therapy session with this woman. I've done one other group of sessions before with another lady, but I'm trying to find a new one since I'm in a new location. And she was good. Like I feel like she got me to say a lot, and she was really nice and like an expert on the topics that I was talking to her about, which I feel like is very important for therapy. But this is so superficial, and I really hate that I'm even saying this, but she's just she's like old and unattractive, and honestly, like, okay, yeah, I really don't like saying this because it just feels wrong, but I also feel like you should really connect with your therapist, and I just felt a little like uncomfortable in the sense that, like, I don't even know how to say it. Yeah, pretty much she's old. Like, she's much older than me. I'm only 20, and I feel like she might not understand as much, like, my age, which this all just could be an excuse, but I guess I just imagined, like, having this pretty therapist and might be easier to talk to. I don't know. Please let me know if you think that's really stupid and superficial, or if that's important, or, like, if you've ever thought about that when picking a therapist. And, yeah, I love your show. Let me know what you think. Maybe I just need to give her, like, a couple more sessions and get past it. But, yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you.
Get past her ugliness.
I'm like, this is what I thought was going to be the first thing that you were going to say. Ready? Do you want to fuck your therapist?
Well, yes. That was in my mind the whole time. Like, do you want Whoa. Okay, because here's the thing. There are two very different things that you're saying here. Like, wanting a therapist who is young and around your age that will understand, like, I don't want to say understand. Also, I'm not going to make any projections about who you are as a person, but like something that's a huge amount of, like, therapists who specialize in, like, transgender issues, queer issues, tend to be younger. And I, like, my friends who go to therapy who are in the queer community tend to aim for therapists that, if they don't have their specialties, usually go for ones that are younger, because more likely than not, it's just how they've adjusted the curriculum of becoming like a registered.
Normal, as opposed to something that's like a new.
It's not like a specialty. This is what I have to, like, go out of my way to research it more. If you've been more recently in school and done all of this stuff, it's updated. Like, everything's updated. But that's not. So you say the age thing is like, the age thing is, to be fair, that's fine if you're if you're worried that you've been talking to them and they don't understand you, like, because of their age, not I see your age, and you're therefore not going to understand me.
Yeah, and you said that she was knowledgeable and what she was saying was relatable, so that's not the thing.
Why? Like, it reminds me of, like, when I was 6 years old and there was this girl. Can I say her name? I don't even remember if it's her real name. Her name was Una, and she was so pretty, and she was in high school, and I was like, I want her to babysit me. I want to look like her when I grow up. And I loved her. She looked like a Disney princess, and I was obsessed with her because she was just like this pretty girl who got to babysit me. But I was 6. I didn't give a shit. She just looked like Cinderella. Like, that was a happy and exciting thing. But do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, that's not like a prerequisite for any other person in my life. And that's a thing that, like, as a little kid, I wanted a babysitter who looked like a Disney princess. And not that there were, like, ones that did. It was mostly just she was the one who's babysitting me, and I thought she looked like a Disney princess, and I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh. But, like, what? Like, I just think this is so fucking weird. And, like,
and it sounds like it's something you need to work out in therapy. If you judge people like this based on their appearance. If you're doing this in therapy, you're probably doing this in your everyday life.
Like, you don't want to hear you don't want to take advice and hear from a professional because you don't think that they are aesthetically pleasing to look at. So then, like, do you surround yourself with anyone's, like, do you validate anyone's opinions if you do not think that they are attractive?
Right.
Like, I think it's just so weird. And there's definitely like a vibe that you should have with your therapist. And so when I was getting an individual therapist, which I don't have right now, I still just do my couples one. But when my couples therapist, when she was she was the one who had recommended me my first individual one, she very much was like, okay, you have, she didn't say it, like she was much nicer about it. But the breakdown was, you have mommy issues. And I think we should try to find a therapist for you that can be motherly to you. I think that will benefit. And then backfired. And I was like, you know what? I don't think like, and she was very much like, I think you're either going to need a therapist who's really motherly, or I do not think that that's what you're going to need. But if it works, I think that's going to be, it's really going to work. And it didn't work. But like, that's like, if we're going to talk about age wise, like I wanted a woman and I wanted someone who like was like, yeah, kind of like a mothery sort of age, but that didn't work out for me. But that wasn't like, I got there and I was like, oh, you're like, you could like be my mom. Like it wasn't that like, and like when I ended up like not continuing to work with her, it wasn't because of her age. It was like, oh, we don't mesh. And I think the next time I try a therapist, I think I'll try someone who I don't see them as like a motherly kind of figure, because that didn't work out so well that last time. But that's not
what she's getting, though.
No.
She said that they meshed well.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, I think that there's a way to say that you like, I think there's a validity to wanting a therapist of like a certain age range. And I'm saying, I think my like, I think that was valid. I don't think yours is at all. I think it's, and also like straight up, it's so mean. Like
it's terrible.
It's so, I don't think I've ever once like, I don't know, like looked at someone and been like, you are ugly. Like thought that in my head. Like, I've thought, I'm not attracted to you, to someone who I had dated.
Well, that's what she said, though, that she wasn't attractive.
Yeah. And that's so weird. The only time I ever think about in terms of if someone is attractive is essentially if I'm attracted to, like, only time I'm turned off is if I don't want to fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like,
and you shouldn't want to fuck your therapist, which that's a whole other issue that some people do fall in love with their therapist. But well, like,
I just, this to me, like my mind goes to either like some sort of like you had like an older, or like you had like a romance, I don't know your orientation or whatever, but like if you had some sort of like romantic thing with like a babysitter who was like this hot pretty girl sort of thing, or if you are incredibly insecure and like you like really need, like you only want to, you need like like you want to embody, I don't want to call it, like it sounds really bad, but like my therapist refers to it as like people can have role models, and then sometimes people who have insecurities growing up and all of that stuff can have like a single white female style role model that is like, I want to be you, and that it becomes like a very superficial surface level, I want to mimic you, I want to become you, as opposed to like you're an inspiring role model and like great person that I want to emulate. Or it's like a narcissist, like just a fully blown like narcissistic thing of like, I can't, well, you're not even saying you are, but like, yeah, that you like can't associate with people that you don't find attractive. I don't know. It's so rude. And like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get also like, what does a pretty therapist bring to you? Yeah.
Is it like her, in your words, unattractiveness? Is it blocking you from taking in what she's saying?
Like, are you distracted?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think you need to figure out what this is.
Yeah.
And there's something that's triggering this in you, and you need to figure out what it is.
I'm going to level with you though. I think you should go to a different therapist and figure that out. Because I think if you say like, that is so incredibly mean. And like,
so then you go to like one that you find attractive, and then you actually want to fuck them. Yeah. Then what do you do with that?
That's what I mean. Like, what do you like, what does this bring to a situation? Yeah. Like, how does this benefit you? Because like, you only want to take advice from people that you want to be like, and that you want to emulate. And then, but also that is only valid, that only goes to looks. Like, I want to be I love my therapist. I want to be like her when I grow up.
Say all the time that you want to be her friend.
I'm obsessed with her. I think she's the greatest. I think she's so funny and she's so cool and she's so awesome. But like,
that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. Like, I wish she was my mom, but I won't tell her that because I would tell, I always say, I'm like, I wish you were my mom if you were older. And she's like, of course. I was like, yeah, if you were super, super old. But yeah, I don't know. And also just like this poor older woman. I love like one of my friends, her therapist is very much like an old, like sweet grandma. And I'm like, I love that. Mm-hmm. That's the female approval I would like in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to figure this one out in therapy, just not with this therapist because that is
awful.
Yeah. It's so awful. And I just really also hope that, I mean, I think you need to work on this, but I would also urge you to work on this and self-reflect in the other aspects of your life that you do this in. Mm-hmm. Because that's so damaging to other people. And even if you don't think you're saying something out loud to them, people know. People know. It's
judgmental. Mm-hmm. And do you want people to judge you by the way that you look?
Yeah. And also people that you're judging by the way that they look, they know. Mm-hmm. It's not, you're not keeping it in your head. It's on your face. You're not doing a good, like, yeah, you're causing so much damage, and
there's probably a lot of great people in the world that you're not letting in just because of their looks.
Yeah. I can't imagine the people you're surrounded with then. Because then also those, like, either those people feel like so special because they've been picked and they're like good enough and it's like watching every step that they take, or they're like that too. And like, it's like you're bullying your therapist. Yeah. Oh, well, goodbye.
Hi, Megan, and guest or Melissa, whoever. So I have been with my boyfriend for 9 years. I'm 24 and he's 26, and we got together whenever I was about 14. And we are still not engaged, or anything. And I don't really know how to feel about it, I guess. We talk about marriage a lot, and we have talked about marriage over the years a lot, and I know that he wants to get married. He knows 100% knows that I am ready to be married. I was ready like a full 2 years ago. I've been ready this whole time. Whenever we were he lived with me in college. I know you don't like that, Megan, but he moved I lived by myself in college for like a year, and then he moved there with me, because I lived in a different town. And I really thought that he was going to propose whenever I was in college. He is still in college and not making great money. I have a full-time job now. And I pay for everything. I pay for our apartment, our cat, like I pay for all of it because I make significantly more than he does, obviously, and that's only fair. I'm not upset about that at all. I'm just giving you context. But I think part of it might be financially, and I have asked him several times over the past year, like, what's the holdup and that kind of thing. And he basically just says, before, like a year ago, whenever I asked, it was that he felt kind of like he wasn't sure maturity-wise if he felt ready, and the reason he said that is because he moved out of his parents' house really late. I moved out, whenever I turned like 21 because I'm transferred to a university, but he's still in community college now. He was a little bit late to the game with college and everything, which is fine. But so anyway, recently whenever I asked him, he felt like it was a financial thing. I guess he just feels like he wants to be financially like supportive or feel like he can support me, which is honestly, I think it's fucking bullshit, but whatever. I don't know what to do. I'm a little bit frustrated and I don't want to pressure him because I know that will not lead to a good marriage. So, if you could just give me some advice and like your opinion on the situation, that would be great. Thanks, Megan. Bye.
I'm really confused how you can say all of that and be confused.
Well, actually, I think there's like several things that could be going on here. Either he doesn't want to actually marry her. He's too comfortable in their relationship as it is right now because they've been together forever. It's a financial thing, like as far as like he can't support both of them. Or it's like why mess up a good thing when she's already paying for everything?
Wow. I mean, that is, yeah, it could be all. I mean, I think if we're going to play, like from the team of your boyfriend, I think it's the maturity and financial thing are both legitimate things. I don't like, and being like, well, I don't like, who cares? Like, not, it's getting married is just as much about him as it is about you. And so him not feeling ready, it doesn't matter how ready you feel or how much money you're making. It doesn't make up for the fact that like he needs to feel good about himself and where he's at in his career and happy with his career. Like it's just as valid. He might not be, you pay for everything. He can't afford a ring. He can't afford a wedding. Like he doesn't want you to buy your own engagement ring and to pay for your own wedding.
And he's in community college too, so that means he's busy. And like, is he like getting an associate's degree or does he want to get a bachelor's degree? That's still another 2 more years on top of what he has to finish now. Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think like, yeah, I just think that that's, you guys have been together for so long. And I think that, and I'm assuming that you live in a place where like your friends are getting married or something like that. But if you're just going based off the amount of years that you've been dating, like, well, yeah, you started dating when you're 14. Like, I don't know any 24-year-olds who got married personally, but like, if it also could be that like all of the rest of your friends are single. And it's like, well, we've been dating for 9 years, like, and it would be a financial strain and it would be like a really big change and a push of that. Like it's something that's going to inevitably happen in a couple of years when we're ready. Like why push it when we're not like when one half of us is not necessarily ready? Like I just.
Yeah. You shouldn't force anybody into doing something that they're not ready to do.
Yeah. Cause
he's just going to end up resenting you. Like you shouldn't put that pressure on him.
And also the idea, like you saying like, well, he wants to be able to like support us. Like I'm all for women supporting themselves, but I also understand that like he wants to be able to support himself.
He wants to bring something else. Yeah. Like he doesn't even support himself. That's right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like in the idea that like you want him to like you want to get married and like at this point it sounds like you're paying for everything. You would pay for the engagement ring and you would pay for the wedding. That doesn't feel, it's not me saying like emasculating to him. I wouldn't feel good if I got married and someone else paid for my whole wedding. Yeah. I wouldn't feel good about that.
It doesn't make it comfortable. And then it's just like, then you put him in an awkward position too of like, he can't really say no to anything because it's you putting up all the finance for it.
And it's a joint thing.
Yeah,
and like
it should be you guys making a union and not about just like you want to get married.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think if you had said any other like excuses or reasons that he didn't want to get married, like, but the two you've said are so incredibly valid that I don't think that this is him not wanting to get married to you. I think it's like he didn't want to get married in college because he moved out of his parents' place late and like he didn't feel like an adult yet. Like, and he didn't feel like fully mature enough yet to like, and I don't even want to say this in a sense of like, you have to be like, everyone can get married whatever age they want. But like, I think the common denominator is like, you feel ready and you want to. And I think a huge part of that is like feeling secure as an adult. And I don't think he feels secure as an adult yet. I think he's like getting his footing with all of that. And I don't think that's how he wants to be as a husband. I think he wants to like, I've tackled adulthood. I feel like I've got a grasp on it as much as you fucking can. And like, now I feel ready to become a husband. I don't think he's wants to learn how to be an adult and a husband at the same time, which is very, 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 very valid.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
If you want to marry him, then you can wait. Like, just be patient. If this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, a couple more years doesn't mean anything.
And a couple more years for him to feel confident and secure in what he's doing and happy with a job and like him to feel excited about it. Like marriage, it doesn't change that much in that extent that like rushing into it does nothing for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what you're going to get out of that. And I don't think that you will. I think in theory, in your dream world, he would be just as stoked as you are right now. But I don't think he's going to get stoked. And when he does, then it's great. But like, sure, if it's another like 5 years and he's got a great job, like you're both financially stable and all of that kind of stuff, and like he still doesn't want to, then reevaluate that.
Right.
But like he has all of the excuses he's given you and all the reasons he's given you are completely legitimate.
Agree.
Yeah.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Oh, God. And also, like, I don't know many people who, I asked Monts if I got a brand deal for an engagement ring, if he would take it. And he was like, I don't think I could. Like, I would just feel weird. Like, that's just like it's like a sponsored, like that. Like, do you know, like, in that sense, like, I think there's not even emasculated, but there's some things that, like,
Because it should be a gift that you're giving to someone and not.
And I think it's also it represents I'm at a good place. This is something that has, and again, if you want to, but this is something that has value and I can afford to do. Like I think it's symbolic of, like, yes, your love or whatever. It's also symbolic of, like, I'm mature enough and able to do this, and I'm choosing to do this. But yeah, I wouldn't. But I do understand that if you've been dating for so long, it feels like,
What's one more thing?
Yeah.
But pull back.
You want him to be like, we don't use this term for men a lot, but you want him to feel like empowered and like
confident.
Yeah. And it doesn't sound like that's what he feels like. And that's
insecure too.
Has nothing to do with your relationship. It just has to do with him and where he's at in his life. And we would never give you the advice on the opposite end either. If like you weren't feeling confident and secure and it was like, no, just marry me anyway.
Yeah. Just say yes.
Yeah.
No.
And if in the meantime, if you need to, like, unfollow lots of like bridal Pinterest accounts.
Oh, she has her own board.
Yeah. I mean, I've got mine.
I know, but you're not like pressuring.
No, every time he looks over my phone, he goes, is this a subtle hint? And I was like, no. Just pretty dresses. I looked at one and now my entire Instagram Explore page is covered in them. They're very fun. I think I want to be, when I get married, I want to have like a pretty, like a pretty, very like wedding-y dress. And then for like the reception, I want to be like a fucking whore. Like I want to look like a thought. Like
I've said that.
I want to look
many occasions.
I want to be like, wow, she's a whore. That's what I want to look like.
Yeah. Like I put it down before we even got to the reception.
That's exactly what I want to look like. And Monts was like, okay. And Kyle was like, yes. Glitter nipple tassels. And I'm like, that's fuck yeah. I'm about it. There has to be some nudity at my wedding. I know. They're especially because right now. Stay patient. Yeah. And
if he's the one, then he's worth waiting for.
Yeah. Sweet. Is it time for a break? Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're back. Hi.
Yes, we're back.
Didn't see you there. Let's get into the rest of the calls.
I'm 20 and my boyfriend is 20 and we've been dating for around 6 months. Before we started dating, he was a virgin and I where I'm not super experienced with sex, but had been with one other person beforehand. But basically, we've been having some issues because he has been having a lot of trouble staying hard. And this has been a thing kind of since the beginning of our relationship, and I thought it was because he was on antidepressants, but then he told me recently that he's not anymore. And when he can get hard, the sex is, it's good, but like he doesn't last very long. And we also been having issues because he cannot come from me giving him head. It just like has not happened, and I like tried really hard, and like I've been doing all the things that I know to do, and I thought I was good at getting blowjobs because the last guy I was with told me I was, and I was also always successful in my attempts with him. So I don't know. It's just kind of discouraging and makes me question my abilities, and like I feel like he's not getting hard maybe because well, he says it's not about me, and I totally want to believe him, but then I get insecure about whether or not he's attracted to me. It also makes it hard to like try new positions and stuff when he gets discouraged because he can't stay hard, and then he doesn't want to try new things, so we just end up doing missionary, and that doesn't really do much for me, and it's just kind of boring, and I want to try new things and have a really good sex life, but we're just not really there right now. And he's really good at like getting me off and doing other things like to make sure I'm getting what I need. But yeah, he just recently asked me to take a break from trying to give him blowjobs because it's stressing him out, so that he can't come. So I know it's kind of taking a toll on both of us, and I just want us to have good sex. But I'm not the most experienced, and I don't really know what to do. So, and I've tried all the advice from your podcast about blowjobs and everything, and nothing's working. So, yeah, it's just causing some issues, and any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like this is, I don't want to say simple, but 6 months, you've been dating for 6 months, and he just went off antidepressants. It's still in his system.
And especially, you didn't say how long he was taking it.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take a while to get out of his system.
I also would, I would have an open conversation with him about also just mental health and like in general, because I think you know he was on antidepressants, if you know why he's going off them, if he's switching to a different one, or if he's going off them because of this, or if he had always been wanting to like wean off of them, because also as much as like antidepressants they do affect like sex drive, they affect like libido, they affect like getting hard, all of like arousal and all that stuff. So does being depressed.
Right.
So like there is this like fine line in between that kind of stuff. So I would be cautious if that was the whole reason why he went off them. And then there's so much like getting off of that stuff. Like it's hard. Like there's so much other stuff that goes along with it. So I would really focus on like being there for each other, like emotionally. And then I think that there'll be less pressure with the sex stuff. But I think also obviously it's so hard to not take it personally. And like objectively, yes, it's not about you. It's not about how attracted he is to you, but like, it's totally normal to feel that way. Like there's no, like I would applaud anyone who could like suck a dick and not have them come and then just be like, really remove your ego from the situation. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I would remind yourself that like, if he's going down on you and getting you off, he finds you attractive. Like
nobody's just going to eat a pussy for no reason.
No, not at all. So like think about it in that sense. And I think that I think the break will probably be good because like that is a lot of pressure on him. And I think just following his cues and like listening to him, and then also just having like open conversations about prior to all of this stuff, what were the kinds of things that did turn him on? Like, is it porn? Like, is it like maybe like mutual masturbation? Like all of these other things that you could do that aren't, that I don't want to say puts it more on him, but like it kind of makes it like he's a little bit more in control and doesn't feel like, it doesn't make you feel like you're not pleasuring him and him then worrying that you're thinking that you're not pleasuring him and all of that sort of stuff. If you guys can kind of like separate that, I think like, yeah, mutual masturbation or just watching porn together or
finding like just like talking about things that are like sexy, and then not necessarily like having sex, but like just keeping that air to it, I think would be a good.
Yeah, I think with you saying like changing positions and things that you can't do it and it's boring, but he can't get hard any other way. It might be like a control thing, because if it's in missionary, he's on top and he's controlling everything. So
Kind of sex
just give
toy.
him, that's what I'm saying, give him time and then get like a sex toy, and you can get ones that attach to him or they don't attach, and you can vibrate on you.
Vibrate on you.
But there's other ways that you guys can explore and play with each other and get to know each other's bodies better. That puts a lot less pressure on him, and that's going to take out some of the mental aspects.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. I think that's just it, really. But yeah, I would also just, I don't know, like I said, check in mentally, like mental health wise, because that kind of stuff too. Because if that's why he wanted to get off the antidepressants,
there's still underlying issues that are there.
Yeah, and that it's not necessarily like it's very twofold of like they can make your sex drive and libido good, all of that sort of stuff, but like so can being depressed in general. But yeah, and I would also focus on like validation and reassurance that aren't like sexual between you guys. Of even just like texting him and being like, you look so cute today, like I really like you, like what, all of that stuff, and like vice versa, so you both are feeling like secure and valued in the relationship, and that sex right now, like it's not the only most important thing. But yeah, best of luck, and I hope you guys we wish you good wet sex in the future.
Yes, very much so.
And we're patient for you. Get a vibrator.
I'm 22 and I have 2 major chronic illnesses. Like Megan, I also have endometriosis. Megan is actually the reason why I asked my doctor about and got tested for endometriosis. So thank you for that. And I also have narcolepsy, which is a sleep disorder that basically influences every part of my life. Google it. It fucking sucks, but I'm figuring it out. And I just like have a lot going on in my life. And right now, to me, it feels like, you know, I'm a fucking woman who wants to fuck and have sex, and that feels good to me right now, and that's something I want to do. So I downloaded Bumble, and I'm going on this date with this dude who's super fucking cool, and seems very chill. He's like very sarcastic and politically angsty like I am, and that like back and forth was there. And I basically am asking how to tell him about my situation, because for me it's really important to be open and honest with people, because it normalizes it for me. I think it's important to normalize it for other people. And also, like, this is a huge part of my life. It affects literally everything. You know, I'm on medication. I'm on medical leave right now, but I'm like taking classes part-time. I have a cat. I live on my own. Like, I have an amazing family and support system, and I'm doing really well. And that being said, like, it still is a really big thing, but I don't want it to define me in his eyes, because I'm trying to fuck this dude, and I don't want to be treated like some breakable thing or something that he needs to fix, because I'm not. I'm like doing really fucking great. I'm in therapy. I have told my therapist about this podcast, and she now listens to it, by the way. And yeah, like, I'm okay. And I think part of the reason why I want to fuck is because I Like for me, my sexuality is something that helps me feel in control and that like I can control, and it's just like a really important part of my life, and I want that back. And like feeling sexy and like that whole side of me is something that I miss now because I've been sick and I have other things to worry about. So just any advice on any of that would be really appreciated. Okay, thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
I love being told when people love us. It's so nice.
And by her, she told her therapist, and the therapist now listens. Wow,
that's amazing.
I dated a guy that was narcoleptic, and I forgot about it to right now. So it did not define who he was.
I had no idea that's where you were going. Holy shit! I've never heard about this. Does that mean so you really forgot? Like, yeah. I've never heard about this.
Yeah, I've talked about him to you before.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like I might know other but I
yeah. So I don't think, and he like we'd be watching a movie or something, and he'd fall asleep, and I just knew that he had narcolepsy, so I didn't think anything of it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I knew up front. I think I got to know him first, and then he told me later, and it was just like random while he was. Yeah. He dropped it like we were going to a movie, and he's like, "Hey, I might fall asleep during this because I have narcolepsy."
I thought I was gonna say though. I think that like first of all, if you just want to fuck someone, you don't want to like. You said that it makes you feel like like all that kind of stuff, but like also like you don't have to. Like if you're just like fucking someone, I think the time in which is if it's someone you want to date, or even if it's someone that you do like people that you're around knowing, it should be yes when you're comfortable, but I think a good timing for that is when it could potentially come up. So if like you have like vagina pain from endometriosis, I would let your partner, the person you're sleeping with, know, heads up, like I can. And if it's whatever, how you work through it, whether it's like sometimes I might need to stop, might need to go slower and need like a ton of lube, or there's some positions that just don't work for me. And then the same thing, like, yeah, if it's like while we're watching a movie or something like that, I think the only thing is like put yourself, until you know someone well, don't put yourself in a position in which like either your endometriosis or your like narcolepsy could I don't want to say put you in like a dangerous position, but like, yeah, if you like, I wouldn't tell someone, I wouldn't go do a date, like like put yourself in a situation in which it could potentially be dangerous, not because you haven't told them yet, but just because you don't know them well enough yet.
And you could go to sleep somewhere.
And that's not safe.
And that's not safe at all. Especially like if you're just trying to fuck them and you don't want anything else from it, and you just fall asleep after sex, then you're there. Or they're there. If you're at your place, they're still at your place. So, yeah, you should be careful.
Yeah, and even if that means that, like, if you have like certain, I don't know what yours is like, but if you have like certain like narcolepsy like triggers, like if it is like like late at night, if it's like moving car, like certain things, like I'm literally pulling all of this. The only like information I know about narcolepsy is literally from a girl who's on The Bachelor, and she like made an Instagram live, and I was like, this is interesting, and I watched the whole thing. But like, so she was talking about like her like triggers for that kind of stuff, and so if you have like specific ones like that, I would avoid those and that sort of stuff. But then even if it's like, I'm only going to like sleep with dudes at my apartment, and you live alone with a cat, but if I'm going to invite a guy over, I'm going to tell my friend what time he's coming over. I'm going to text the time that he gets over there, make sure the location's on my phone, and they're going to call me 2 hours or 3 hours later. And that, like, just setting up that kind of stuff. But I don't think unless a guy's an absolute dipshit, I don't think he's going to like try and fix you or like treat you like you're like a delicate and like a broken. Cause like, yeah, you'd have to be an idiot. Like, and is he like a neurologist? Like what, like what's he going to bring to the table? But yeah, I think if you go after, they definitely like, not in like a parental way, but there are some people that like really love like people they can take care of, like men and women, like there are just sometimes people who like they really get off on that kind of like control and stuff like that. It doesn't sound like you're even going to end up going on like, it doesn't even sound like you're going to talk to guys like that. Yeah. So I wouldn't be so wary of that. You sound like what you're attracted to is guys who are going to be like mature adults and understand this sort of stuff. But yeah, I think whenever you're comfortable, and you're in a situation in which it is like pertinent. And I think like you said with your ex, where it was like, hey, we're going to a movie, FYI, I might fall asleep.
Yep.
I've got narcolepsy. And it's like, okay. Because it's not like, I don't know. I think it's just about your comfort. And that's what your partner or whoever you're with, they just want to make sure that you're okay and you're comfortable and you don't want to scare them and put them in a situation where they don't know what to do and they can't help you. If you're like, even if you like take it back to like being diabetic or something, it's like, if you're going to spend an extended period of time with someone, they should probably know that, even if you're not wearing a medical ID bracelet, if something, God forbid, happened, that they could be able to help.
And also, if you're just fucking people, make sure your friends know where you are at all times too.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't answer in a certain amount of time, then they need to come get you.
Yeah. I would hook up with people at, yeah, I mean, my mind says your place, but at the same time,
but then, like, if she falls asleep,
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
and
not,
they can also steal stuff from her too.
It's still like there are risks in either one, but I think it might be easier if your friends show up.
Yeah,
if you're at your own place and they have a key to your apartment or something, I think that would be like a safe and smart bet. But you sound like an incredibly smart person.
Yeah.
So, I have high hopes. I have high hopes for you and your fucking. It's going to be good. I'm excited for you. Very excited for you. Have a good time. Stay safe.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
and thank you for the recommendation.
Oh my God. Wow. I feel validated.
Yeah.
So much. My therapist doesn't listen. And I'm like,
maybe she shouldn't.
No, I told her she should watch my hacking. I told her if she ever wanted to watch anything that I did, she should watch my hacking video because it's pretty good. And she was like, do you want me to watch it? Do you think it'll be helpful? And I was like, no, I think I'm funny. And she was like, I know you're
so
funny.
well done.
Exactly. But I was like, if you get bored, you
want her
it.
to be proud of you.
That's I do. What it is. Which I think she is. She likes me. We're friends. As much as you can be with your therapist.
Friends with boundaries.
Friends with boundaries. We're the kind of friends that she's like, if you weren't my patient, we would be friends.
Yeah.
And that's all I need. Like, I don't need more friends, but I just need someone to say, I would be your friend.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. I don't need you to actually be my friend. Okay. Update time. We have an update. That's what update means.
Yes. And so the update today is from the girl who said that the guy blew her back out.
Okay.
So that originally happened in like the beginning of December, and a lot has happened since then. So essentially I'm going to try to I made a little sticky note, so I'm going to try to answer a couple of things that you guys mentioned, and then I'll go into what's happening now. So his penis size was like probably 8 inches. I tore a disc in my low back. And it was either from missionary or riding, which he was pretty gentle, but then it got pretty intense, and I think the adrenaline just took over, so I didn't really feel it when it happened. So it turns out that he had some pretty crazy trust issues from a cheating ex that I had no idea about, and he blew up on me for having really close friends that were guys, and told me that I couldn't be friends with them if I wanted to be with him, and then everything just kind of fell apart from there. Even from there, so for Christmas, he gave me this really nice blanket and then called me a month later asking me if he could have the blanket back, but then ended up showing up at my house while I was several glasses of wine drunk. I opened the door and I was like, okay, hello. And he goes off about how he's so sorry, starts kissing me, telling me how he wants to see me soon. We talk through everything. Everything's great. And then as he's leaving my house, asks me for the damn blanket. So give him the blanket, push him out the door. I'm like, don't talk to me again. Like, that was so just stupid. Like, that was a gift he gave me. I know that's dumb, but so since then, that was the beginning. That was probably like 2 months ago. And then a month after that, he contacts me again, and he's like telling me he misses me and he's sorry again. And I was just kind of fed up at that point, even though I still really am like head over heels for this guy, even though it's been probably 2 months now since we were actually together. Long story short, about 2 weeks ago, I drank a little bit too much, partying. I'm in college, obviously, but partying with some friends near his apartment complex. Showed up on his front porch. I'm running out of time, but he told me he missed me, told me he was sorry, picked me up, like rubbed his nose on my nose, like all cute, you know, and he was wearing my hair tie as a bracelet. So can we talk about what we think about that? Also, then made plans with me to get coffee, then told me that he's seeing someone new and canceled the plans because she didn't want him to see me. So I texted him, told him how I felt, that I'm in love with him and everything, like 5 days ago. Haven't heard anything back. Help me, please. What the hell?
I'm sorry, what the hell?
The hair tie is the least of your concerns.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She's confused. She's surprised and confused. Like, ma'am, what? First of all, you did not answer our questions.
No,
our
you
questions were, was he holding your low back while your back was arched and you were not engaging your core, and therefore that's what hurt your back? I feel like the first call was all a lie. I feel like
he has a little penis.
I feel like it was bad and she got like rug burn and chafing and it was hurting, and then her back unrelated hurt, and then he did not blow your back out. He is what? What? I'm sorry. First of all, I'm really not over the fact that, like, if you're all listening, you're listening to this right now, everyone should just rewind again. But I just need everyone to, like, let's go back and think about the fact that she does the whole call and then we get to, and then I told him how I felt, like, you know, I'm in love with him. What? Biggest fucking plot twist of all time. You're in love with him? He sucks. And the only reason why I know that is because you told me he sucks. And obviously you're in love with him?
I just can't even form words.
You're not in love with him. And you're like, help, what? Like, what's happening? I don't know. You did this. What are you doing? Oh my God. This is why you don't drink wine in college.
Yeah.
These are the girls who drink wine in college.
Look, that's exactly what I was saying.
Because you know what this is? This is like, it is one of those, like, it is like, and everyone who's like, oh my God, I drink wine in college, don't judge me. It's like the 35-year-old women trapped in like a 21-year-old body. And so it's like, I'm gonna fuck, but I love you. Like, it's like telenovela. Like, I feel like you dump glasses of wine on people.
I mean, as she was saying this, because I know she told us in the last call that she was a nurse, and I was trying to think about how
nurses are
not just nurses, but like how this would unfold on a soap opera, since I'm an aficionado of General Hospital.
Yeah.
And
I feel like her name would be Mackenzie.
Yeah. There's not any Mackenzies on GH, but this is too much. Like, the fact that you allow all this drama in your life just tells me that you love drama.
They were just fucking. They weren't even dating.
No. And, like, what was the deal with this fucking blanket, too?
What? And this was also, all of that stuff happened in December.
Yeah.
And so then Christmas happened in December, too. So, like, what?
This all, like, the first time that he basically said he didn't want to be with you, that should have been the end of it. But you just kept coming back for more, and you kept allowing it. You can't open yourself and allow yourself to invite bullshit into your life.
No, and there's nothing I find, like, you have no ground to stand on, and I do not feel bad for you when someone shows up at your door and you're like, fuck this dude, slam the door, fuck you, get out of my face. Actually, like, I'm hella down. Like, it's like, you can't talk this big game of being like, no, go away, I don't need you, like, you're a piece of shit. Like, it makes no, like, no. I'm gonna tie it back to The Bachelor. One of the girls on The Bachelor was like, ultimatum, if you sleep with any of these other girls, I'm out. Guess what he did? Fucked all the other girls. Guess what? Wasn't out. And I was like, give an ultimatum. Go for it. You just have to fucking stick to it. Nothing pisses me off more than, like, I'm done for now. I'm coming back. You ready? Like, it's just don't say it in the first place.
Also, there's another girl involved in this too.
Oh my God.
And
also she's like, why isn't he responding?
Because he's busy with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he played you. Like, I don't understand why you don't understand that he literally said what you wanted to hear so he could get the stupid blanket back, and then left and was like, my girlfriend got mad that I was here. No, he was I don't know what the significance of this fucking blanket is, but it means something to him. Also, that hair tie could have been any fucking hair tie.
Oh my God, you're so right. Shut the fuck up. I didn't even think about it like that. Unless you have like an Etsy scrunchie business and this is like a custom fucking scrunchie. Can you imagine it's a scrunchie?
He's a Visco boy.
I'm dead. He has a puka shell necklace on. Oh my God. Like, what? Also, again, it is just so weird to me how you can like talk all this mad shit on him and then be like, but obviously I love him. And it's like, no, you don't.
You don't even know this dude.
No.
He's not, all you've done is fucked him one time and then he's fucked you over several
You
times.
hate him. You don't love him. And like, you have to love drama. You have to, because otherwise this, like, you would not keep inviting this shit back into your life. That is so melodramatic.
This is what I want you to do. If you're 21, switch over to a different alcohol.
Yeah, no, wine is not your drink, girl.
No. Because it's just making you sad and doing sad things. You're just a sad girl.
It's making you like a divorcee. Like, it's making you like this like vengeful, sad divorcee.
Number 2, delete his number. Don't
block
answer.
him.
Yeah, block him. Don't answer anything that he ever like sends you ever in life. Don't accept any gifts from him.
Get on a dating app, change to VOD.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
And get on a dating app.
Number 3, focus on school.
Yeah. This is just, I just can't.
You hurt my heart. Like, do you listen to this podcast regularly? Like, in what world do you think that you were going to call in and we were just going to be like,
I love him too.
You know what? You got to figure out how to lock this dude down. That was never going to happen.
No. And also, you were doing so well with the first call. You really blindsided us. Like, why would you lie? It's like you eased us in and then you're like, pivot. Actually, psych. Girl.
Reevaluate your life.
Oh my God. Also, your friends must not watch reality TV. They just watch your life. They're like, oh my God.
What a train wreck.
I can't, dude. I cannot. And also, again, we really didn't get the questions answered about your back. Just again, physically. The only time that
was not an update at all. That was, you should have just
called back in
with a new
And also,
problem.
you never even needed to tell us it was the same dude. It is irrelevant that he has a big dick.
I don't think he does either.
Also, like, can you even gauge 8 inches in your head?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone said, how big is that guy's dick? Would you be able to say it in inches?
No. Unless he had a fucking ruler.
No, unless he told me how big it was. Would I only be able to say how big it was?
Maybe if you, because we know that the iPhone 11 is like, I think 7.5. No, it's not that big.
Did you see there's like this thing on TikTok that's saying that your span between like your pinky and your thumb is like how big like guys' dicks are? And it's like just not true at all. But there was some guy on TikTok being like, yeah, it's so true. This is how big my, and he was like, nobody don't believe it. It is very true. My DMs are open. And it's like not true at all. But he's like trying to be like,
I got big hands.
Yeah. But I also think like my pinkies like will pop in and out. And I'm like how big mine would be.
Yeah.
It's a fucking schlong.
Yeah.
And we're not saying hard. I think they're just saying
mine would be a little cutie guy.
You would have a cute dick.
It'd still be.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Monts hates any of the like penis hand correlations because like I have huge hands and he doesn't have like massive hands. and he's wonderful penis, does not have a small penis, but like anytime there's like, oh, you know, hands, he's like, can we not? I don't like those ones.
It makes him insecure.
It does.
Because he
like,
can't just like whip out his dick
exactly.
anywhere.
And so he's not like, no, it's not. It's just because like, to be fair, like he does have small hands, like just doesn't have very big hands.
I mean, you guys wear like the same size shoe, so.
That is true. Granted, to be fair, I have no arch in my foot, so I think I would probably be like an 8.5. But like, yeah, it's always very funny when any hand stuff. And I like will do this, and he's like, "Don't." And I'm like, "Hey, my dick would be bigger than yours." Wow. So we're gonna need. I'm gonna need you to. I think changing your alcohol of choice is gonna be good, and I think you need to watch some reality TV and not live it.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
I feel like
you made me uncomfortable. And I love reality TV. Like, I watch all the Real Housewives, and I watch soap operas, and I watch primetime soaps. So it's just like, the fact that you shocked me, like, this is somebody that lives this type of life in real life, unprecedented.
I also want a picture that you're drinking red wine, so your teeth are stained tooth the whole time.
They are.
It just adds
100%.
to there's nothing funnier than like on reality TV, a drunk woman with red wine teeth.
Oh, that happened in an episode I was looking at Real Housewives last night.
So
her whole lips, and then the woman she was talking to usually wears contacts, but she had gone swimming, so she'd taken her contacts out, so she didn't know that it was as bad as it was. And then somebody like came downstairs and was like, "Girl, you look like the Joker."
Stop it! That's so funny. It's always when it dyes the gums, and it's like, you look like you have gingivitis.
Yeah,
it is. I also just love I feel like this is gonna be one of those moments where like I'm gonna relate it back to The Bachelor. The mom on The Bachelor was like being so like she was just like so extra, Peter's mom. And I was like, oh, she's definitely a Cancer. And I got all these people in my DMs being like, oh my God, I'm a Cancer. Yeah. Like it's not a flattering thing. And I feel like if you're a college wine drinker, I feel like you're gonna be like, this was not flattering, and I agree. Amanda's nodding her head. I just feel like because like if I had powered through my sadness when I drank wine in college, this would have been me. You know what I mean? This would have been me.
I didn't touch a glass of wine until
wine makes me
I was
so sad.
older. Yeah, me too. And sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the type of person like if I have one glass of wine, I'm going to sleep.
But this is why I think people drink wine and then watch reality TV. It's because like you just become like a wealthy yacht owner, just like holding it. Like, and if you have the fucking Crate and Barrel, like long stem, like big ones, like Olivia Pope, you're 100% there just being like, I'd fuck the president, not this president, but like if the president was like, it just gives you, there's like it's a wine confidence.
Yeah.
That you're like, I'm going to fuck up some lives starting with my own.
All you eat is popcorn.
Oh my God. Yeah. In theory, you'd think I would like wine because I do love popcorn, but I don't like drama in my life. Yeah. No, you got to switch your drink. Well, best of luck. Give us a call back if you don't hate us. And yeah, that's it for our episode, guys. If you want to be on an upcoming episode, you can give us a call at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to listen ad-free, we're on Stitcher Premium. And if you want to watch the video version, if you want to watch it again, you've already listened, watch it. It's on YouTube. Audio version everywhere else you listen. And leave us some review. We would love that on the podcast app. It makes our lives. And one of my other favorite things that people do is if you, in your review, let us know who your favorite guest was, your favorite episode. I think that's always interesting.
Yeah.
I like to know who's the most memorable. It's like we should make it like a Don't Blame Me yearbook. I've been in quarantine for a week, and I'm like,
that
I want a project.
Sounds kind of fun.
I was on yearbook.
Well, you should update the website. That's what you should do.
That is what I should do. I keep forgetting. I'll make a to-do list.
Yeah.
Well,
your book.
Yes. Oh, my book comes out on May 5th, guys. And if we're still quarantined, you're going to need some more content. Read it, pre-order it. It's available on Amazon. And if you are not a fan of Amazon, you can pre-order it from Barnes & Noble and lots of other places. Digital version, audiobook, all of that stuff. And follow us on Instagram. And
yeah, that's it.
That's it. Goodbye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, executive produced by Melisa de Monts, camera operator Amanda Lechner, and music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso. Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa de Monts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.